Jack's a wonderful guy. He is a character in all senses of the word. He's quirky, extremely smart, very astute, very engaging and engaged one moment, and totally distant the next moment. He was absolutely what we needed at the time when we were trying to, early on in the company, figure out what we wanted to be when we grew up. And he was right there, encouraging us, making us feel good, making us aware without making us feel ignorant. He was trying to make us aware of the bigger world out there, that we could actually get investment, which we really did not think that we would be doing. If we really wanted to fulfill this vision in a big way, we should consider bringing in some money. And again, he had this way that he would encourage us, push us, and yet let us make our own mistakes as well. Jack was the first investor, and not soon thereafter, but eventually thereafter, we had a few angels that invested in us as well, particularly Dennis and Wally. Dennis is a character that was very much a founder like us, in the sense that we related instantly to him. Very astute, experienced, savvy individual, but also a very humble individual. And we had a bond with him immediately. Wally was another individual very familiar with healthcare, who we felt very comfortable with, who really was smart, gave us good advice, and gave us that sense of we're doing something meaningful. We met with many other individuals throughout this time, and we didn't necessarily get that sense that this is somebody who understood us, who understood our vision, but ultimately it really boiled down to that personal sense of confidence in the sincerity of the individual.
Having been declined by a large law firm, my old law firm, Fenwick & West, were referred to us because Fenwick & West knows that we're more entrepreneurial as a law firm. So when they walked in, they actually had more credibility, having been through the route of going to large firms and being rejected, and still being motivated to tell their pitch with enthusiasm, with a sense of mission, with a sense of we're going to leave our safe employer, Varian, and we're going to do this thing. We just need some help. And I looked at them and thought to myself, God, this is a replay of stories I had seen and repeatedly had seen even at this firm, of two people who really want to do something to improve a process that was pretty much failing in a paper-based, fax-based world. And that gave them more credibility and certainly enabled me to become very convinced that I should ally with them. I think I, in fact, cut the first check to help them get started. So you have to understand that the angel community gets built based on relationships, and it's really about knowing people, spending time with them. I had done work for Sean's previous company, both at this firm and the prior firm. I had tried cases for Sean. So Sean knew me more as a trial lawyer, but there was a group in our firm that was the entrepreneurship group that I was heading up that really was looking at the time, and still is, at very much in the garage type investments. And we set out to really grow that angel network. And so when I was convinced that these folks were real, even though the business plan was not done and even though they still were at Varian, I said, I'm going to make an investment. And I said to Sean, I think they're worthy of your time. And Sean then brought Wally into the picture. And a series of meetings happened in this very room where a lot of questions, a lot of vetting, a lot of are you sure, a lot of who do you think your customers are, really happened here. And lots of meetings and lots of questioning. And in fact, the ideas kept morphing and changing from really a informational-based site to something that would be much more transactional. It's going to be a race for investors, it's going to be a race for customers, it's going to be a race for employees. All the stakeholders of the business effectively are competing then among various companies who create the category. And it was, in a way, a new category. I mean, it was, in a way, a play on Yahoo, a play on portals that existed, but with specific information for the medical field. So as we started talking more and more, they started realizing we need to be a lot more polished. We need to have answers to these questions. We can't get in front of sophisticated investors and not have those answers, because then our credibility will decrease. We won't get a second meeting. It often will take anywhere from 3 to 12 meetings to get our investment closed.
People quite often come to me with ideas, often through an email introduction, or like go out to have lunch with them. Basically the idea either strikes me as something that I think there's a big market for, which usually means it's something that I'd like to buy, because I don't know what somebody else would like to buy. I know what I like to buy. And when I take a look at the person, I can just get a feeling whether I like them, whether I don't like them. First of all, what interested me in Neoforma is there's an association here. So if I'm walking down the street in Palo Alto and somebody comes to me and says, "Dennis, here's a really great business idea," and there's no context, I don't know them, then it's crazy. So I had a good introduction from Jack Russo that I'd known from some time, and I actually met Wally Buck, and we've been good friends ever since. And Wally was just a real credible guy. So the fact that Wayne was able to have a meeting with these guys, and Wayne and Jeff just came across to me as really solid people. And they were able to get this across to me in the elevator pitch. I mean, here we have all this great information. It goes out on CDs. We now have the web. We can make all this stuff available, get it out there, be first. People will find it, game over.
Wayne's a real introverted guy, so it was important that he have time for himself. Working with Greg really helped so that as the company got huge, I mean, that got much bigger than anything he imagined, and that was not something he was trained to do, even though he has really good instincts and intuition. Wayne worked with those people, so mentored them, and that's a wonderful thing, to see that potential in people and have it grow, and he's very proud of that. That mentoring of people, showing them that you have an idea that has heart and meaning for you, and influencing them, inspiring them to work from that place.